What's up guys, welcome back to Wrench Avengers. Today we're going to be working on this Turbo 400. Basically just going to get it torn down and going to see what's in it, what it looks like, and see what kind of parts I need to get in order to get it up and running. This isn't going to necessarily be an actual how-to on how to rebuild a Turbo 400 because I've never actually done it and don't really know what it takes 100%. I've watched a couple videos, but I don't really know exactly what to be doing to actually get this thing torn down and rebuilt. So I'm gonna be kind of winging it. I'll give you guys information that I know of as I'm doing it, but I'm not gonna know a whole lot about transmissions in general. I'm going to be omitting some normal things, some easy things, right? So taking off this kind of stuff and taking off the pan. If you can't figure out how to just take bolts off, then you probably shouldn't be looking at even trying to tear down a transmission. This came out of my 1972 Chevy pickup. Basically, it's going to go into my 1986 Chevy pickup with a 454 and basically, I haven't really showed it much at all on the channel yet. It's on my Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen it. Basically, what happened with the 86 is it blew up the transmission. It has an NV4500 in it. We'll probably be pulling that and fixing it, but it won't be going back in the truck. I'm just going to build this and make that work. We're taking the filter off, taking the tube off, and then basically just trashing those. We know we'll replace them, and then start taking stuff off, keeping track of where bolts go, keeping track of everything. Pretty much it. Okay. Just some fair warning, your valve body actually has two different size bolts on it, so pay attention to those. When we go to put it back together, we'll talk about torque spec on them. In here, and you have these two governor tubes. You just kind of get a screwdriver in here and pry them up, and then this whole piece is ready to come off. You pry off those governor tubes. And get yourself a bag for it. Now, there is inside of here this inside of here you'll see there's a thingamabob, whatever the fuck, piston, I guess. Want to be careful with it. Don't let it fall out and hit the floor or anything. You don't want it damaged at all. One of the things I didn't mention that I was doing with this rebuild was that I'm actually going to be doing a couple mods to the transmission while I'm here. I'm going to be doing what's called a dual feed mod. Basically it loops the reverse and first or third, reverse in one of the gears. I don't remember, but basically it just gives more pressure to your other gears and it makes your shifting a lot more harsh, I should say. It shouldn't be too bad, but basically if you get a Transgo kit, they do the same thing, but they do it with just with a plate. We're going to do it actually internally inside the transmission so we don't have to use a plate. But I do need to verify if this in fact has a plate or not. I don't know if this, because I've never been into this transmission before, I don't know if it's got a shift kit already and if I need to get a different plate or what the deal is. So that plan might change depending on if what this plate's like. Okay, to get the plate off, you do need to take off your kickdown modulator thingy-mabob. And then what I do is I'd go ahead, you'll unplug it here. Let me bring you in on this. Oof. So to get your plate off, this bolts through your plate. Pay attention to your gasket. There's different gasket styles for these. And then basically you just unhook from here. We'll do it slowly. You can break this wire really easily. It's going to be really brittle. I probably won't be using an electronic kickdown anyway, but I'm just, forewarning. And then I'll probably take out the module from the case just to get it out of the way for now. Very small. And these nut bolts are a, what are they? 3/8. And these bolts are a 3/8. Yeah, so as you can see, some of these are offset, like this one, and some of them are right in the center, is my understanding is the difference. And they'll use a different gasket. It's like, so this one doesn't even use a gasket. It's got like an O-ring on it. The ones that I think are centered actually do use a gasket. And that has to do with their age, I think, is the difference. So if you get an older one, this one is probably from 72. It came out of a 72 C20. So likely it was made in around that same time. I'm not really sure. Let's get those bagged up. So likely it was made around that same time, but I don't know that for a fact. Along with that, the older ones, like I think pre-71, if I remember right, are the ones that are different, and there's a few other things that are different on them too. Alright, so let's go ahead and take off this plate. Yeah, so I'm fairly certain this thing has a shift kit on it. The reason I say that I think it's got a shift kit on it is you can see how shoddily, so in this hole here, and this hole here, you can see that there's actually been work done to it, so it's been drilled out. Still could be a stock plate, but I don't know if this means something, these notches. But these are like your 1 and 2s or something like that. But basically I'll probably just be checking. I don't know what plate that is. I'll have to look. I might just have to get a stock one and modify the stock one. We'll see. I don't know yet. After looking over some stuff here, check this out. Right there, that check ball. See right next to it? That little, oh, I don't know. It's a C-clip is what it is. A broken C-clip at that. So, that's fun. Interesting thing is that this transmission ran whenever I pulled it apart. What that C-clip is from is over here. this accumulator right here, that C-clip's supposed to hold that accumulator on, accumulator piston or whatever. Well, the thing is, whenever so this obviously has a shift kit in it, and somebody went through and did this. You do modify the spring that's underneath this in some shift kits. So likely, I mean, we're gonna have to take this apart anyway, but now I gotta find a new C-clip probably. So there's that. As well as another reason I can tell they had a shift kit is back to, let me grab that check ball again. So that check ball was right there. So our check ball locations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one should be here. Actually, I think we only run 5. Hey. Yeah. So, well, there's 2 places actually. It should be either here or here. One of these 2 places, and they're missing. One's missing. You really only run 5. The problem is that I think one's supposed to be there, and it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I got to figure out which one's in the wrong place. But yeah. So anyway, that's another reason I know there's a shift kit, because they took out one of the check balls. Thing is, I drove this truck for many years back in high school, or before high school even. I would drive this truck, and the interesting fact is that, you know, I never really had any trouble with the transmission that I know of, and the fact that there's so much that is apparently not right. I never would have thought there was a shift kit in it, and didn't really shift too hard, but like this piston I was messing with earlier, if you look at it, you see how chewed up that is? Probably because there was something bouncing around in there that shouldn't have been. And I don't really know how that thing works, so I'm actually just leaving it alone, because I don't know if... Likely what was bouncing around in there was this, because that's where that accumulator piston goes, is right on top of that. And then this is supposed to push it in and out, I think. It looks like that. Oh god. Looks like this is chewed to fucking shit too, so I'm gonna have to clean that up and hope that it works. I'll have to fix those. I not want to drop these check balls. So you can see inside there that it's all chewed up there. Some on this side too. And there's a few down there. Basically that hole's supposed to be smooth so this piston can ride in and out of it smoothly. And with it not being smooth, means that it can chew on it, which it definitely has. So thankfully I'll be getting a new seal for that, I'm pretty sure. I'll basically go in and clean that up as best I can and just hope that it stays sealing. I don't know, like I said, the transmission worked before, so I'm just going to hope that the case isn't too completely jacked. Oh no. Let me pay attention to that. I know this is sporadic. Like I said, this is not a how-to, this is just me doing my thing. So, one thing to pay attention to, where those governor tubes were at, there's a filter in one of them. Pay attention to where that filter's at, which one it came out of. Okay, I forgot to push record to pull the tail housing off, but basically all I did was pull the tail housing off. Going to get it set up now on a different way. We're actually going to stand it up on this tail shaft so that we can pull stuff out from the top. I think it's going to be easier to do it that way. So, be back in just a sec. Okay, so now I've actually got it standing on end. The only reason I didn't stand it like this previously, to be able to show it to you guys and stuff, was because I didn't want to lose my check balls and stuff. You don't want to lose your balls. So what I have actually is a 5-gallon bucket, and I have a flex plate set on top of the 5-gallon bucket, and then the shaft goes through the hole in the flex plate, and it can drain and drip into the 5-gallon bucket and not be a problem. Seems to be pretty sturdy, and you know, I'm okay with it. So we'll start pulling stuff out through the top here. This is where the pump was at, in case you couldn't catch the reference area. There's also one more bolt we will have to get out inside of here that I will show you when we get to it. So we just start grabbing shit. So out comes this guy first. There is a nylon, you can see the yellow nylon spacer there. Don't want to lose that. It doesn't look like there's another one in there. So this is the front drum assembly. I don't remember what this is called. Okay, reach in there and grab this one. Is this one that we have to... Okay, so this is the direct drum. I do know that. This is the sprag on it. And he sounds like shit. He's really worn here. The good news about that is, if this is the style drum that I think it is, we'll be changing it. So we'll wait and see. I have to take it apart to find out. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay. See how this is red in color in there? Pretty sure that means that it's been swapped out. Like this is like the red altos or whatever. Now, I know that's more specific to the clutch discs, which we're getting ready to get to. I don't know. It may or may not be. This is the outer band for. Man, it's for something. I know it's got to be in there. That's all I know. Put them around the drag drum because that's where it goes. Now inside of here, there's going to be a snap ring holding on this set of clutches. Should be pretty easy to get out. And grab onto it. And there we go. Now I know on a couple of these there's a bevel to them that you have to pay attention to. I don't think this one's it, so you just pull him out. And as far as I can tell, these kind of only go in one way. This is the top plate thingy. So I've still got yellow clutches, so they might still just be Borg Warners. So maybe they didn't replace the clutches when they did this. So that could be why that drag drum's so worn. This has some weird colors on it. I don't know if that's a bad thing. But it's the only one I have, so it's going to get ran anyway, so. And then, the clutches and steels. So you can see here I've got, I don't know if it'll tell me the brand on those. So this right here, there's a 12-point. Don't know what size, I'll tell you in a minute. 12-point bolt. You gotta take that out or you'll never get that direct drive out. That's that direct drive in there. Okay, so we're gonna take this bolt out. It's actually a 3/8 12-point. Use that. Get some gloves on. Oh, I'm an idiot. I took that out. It still needs to come out, but there's actually another snap ring in here after that. I didn't see the snap ring. Ouch. Okay, I got this ring out. And this one has the bevel going up. I assume that that's the way that it needs to go back in. I'll double check a manual and make sure, but bevel up when it came out anyway. Okay. He's heavy. Put my bolt back in so I don't lose him right now. Okay, we've got another snap ring. This is called the case saver ring. Pretty sure. Or maybe that other one was. I don't know. This is another snap ring, that's all I know. And then, oh, we have took that whole assembly out. Make sure you have this guy. And down on the bottom, you'll have this guy. He is going to determine your shaft play at the end. Okay. Let's see if I can get the band out of here. There we go. Okay, we got this the reverse band out of here. If you couldn't tell, it's heavy duty. So basically, got everything torn down. Oops. Everything torn down. Everything is out of the case. Oops. There we go. Everything's out of the case, and here's all of our bits. We can see that tearing down a TH400 is not that big a deal. So we got our governor and speedometer. We got our forward drum, direct drum, planetaries here, rear band. So basically what we do is we put this in, then we put that in, then we'll put that in, then that in, then that in, then that in, and then all that junk. So, not too bad. Okay, so basically in the next video we'll be looking at probably doing a couple of the mods for the internally feeding, the dual feeding. I'll have to be figuring out what the deal is with my plate and waiting for my rebuild kit to come in. Have to order some more parts. Got to order a new direct drum as part of basically going to upgrade the sprag in that to a 34 element sprag. In order to do that, I need a 4L80E direct drum, and then put my clutches in that. And basically we're going to kind of break this down. I don't think I'm going to do a video on each individual section, but I think we might combine a couple of them. It depends on how long it takes me. So stay tuned for the next video. So guess basically just thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Checking out the TH400, running a Turbo 400, basically rebuilding that guy. And you know, if you're interested in this sort of thing, give that video a thumbs up, like that video, and then go ahead and follow me on Instagram. You see it at the end, wrench_Avengers. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned.